Well, hello. Nice to see you all. Great to have you here. Ta-da. Well, here we are. Mine is Shelby. I don't know where Shelby is. She'll be no longer she won't. Michael Pfeiffer. Hello. See if I got a note. I sent her a note earlier. The weather up there is dreadful. She says soon. Soon, she says. See, right there it said Shelby. Soon. All right. Shelby soon. Kevin Rosenberg's got Skankovich. Be there in a few-ish, she says. Brian Carroll. Diane Altland. Michael Pfeiffer. Sammy 3D. Let's go back up toward the top. Can we do that? I need to get in a live chat. Yep. There we go. Yeah. It's letting us. There's Nayla Fox. Hey, Nayla. Nice to see you. Who else? Levi. Patty Childs. Patty says, been watching your videos. Nice to have you here, Patty. I hope you're getting a lot out of them. Let me remind you and everyone else to, if you want a deeper dive in all things Father Fish, then you really need to join us on Discord. We'll be posting the link throughout the evening. It's a group of right now maybe 100 people who are deeply involved in the Father Fish approach to maintaining aquaria. We've actually got 600 members over there. But at any one given point in time, there are 50 to 100 people online and chatting. So it's a lot of fun. We've got some real expertise. It's a chance for you to learn a lot. Come on over and, you can you can help out too. If you've been around for a while, you got some basic understanding of what's going on. Patty Charles, I don't want to have to buy all these different bags of stuff separately. Well, not a problem. We sell on both Get Gills and fatherfishaquarium.net. We sell a supplement that contains everything. So you can get that on Get Gills. You can get it on our website, fatherfishaquarium.net. Hey, Rob. Hello. Vanotsky. Hello, Vanotsky. Nice to see you. Christina Whitaker. Kevin Rosenberg. Who else? Levi J. Oliver. Got them all. Wonderful. Oh, let's see. Corinne Wood. Nice to see you, Corinne. Thank you, Patty, very much. Thank you. Michael Pfeiffer. I'm repeating myself, I'm sure. Yeah. T-Bone. Hello, T-Bone. Good to see you. Patty, we got you wrenched up pretty quick there. Glad to have you here. Dumbud. Hello, Dumbud. Bud, I've never, here's something brand new, never been mentioned here before, I don't think. My family name is not Father Fish. My family name, the name my mother, brothers and sisters, cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents, the name everyone used when I was a child was Buddy. Buddy. You see, I was a junior, and my mother did not want to call me Little Lou. And so she came up with a name based on a popular song in the 1930s called My Buddy. And she named me Buddy as a nickname, a family name. Stopped using it. I stopped using it when I went away to college. But when I came back years later and became involved once again in my father's ministry, everybody there knew me as Bud because that was family. They were all family. Right, let's see. Scott's saying we need the snow to melt and collect up some substrate from the creek. And for Wendy to design the 75. I know, Sammy 3D. Patty, you live in Ohio and have lots of snow. ABC, hey ABC, Grand Woods, Jay Oliver, Patty, Child T-Bone. I'm just scrolling down here. Okay, here we go. Andrew. Oh my God, here we go. Do you follow Dr. Novak? In recent video, the doctor explicitly mentioned your method as the Father Fish approach and asked for references to the scientific research to support Wallstad fish tank method. Well, she did write a book about it. And the book has been out for at least 20 years. I'm sure Dr. Novak, the great researcher, is familiar with her book. And if he is not, shame on him. And if he is referring to my methods without bothering to research what I have said about Wallstad and the methodology I use to overcome some of the difficulties with the Wallstad method, then he is simply, how shall I put it, shooting blanks. As is my attitude toward his method. It shoots blanks. Don't ask me again. It can get ugly. Patty Charles, I got fatherfish.net to order my dirt dynamite. Oh, I've got some really nice plants. Anybody who wants plants, I just got another shipment in today. Let me show you. Let's see. These are real pretty. These are cardinal plants. Compacta. Rotella Winichi. Up here, I don't know if you can see it, is some Anubias nana. Oh, and this you're going to love. Here we can get a decent. Here we go. got wires tangled up in here. This is four-leaf clover. They're about a foot tall. There's some more in here. So, lots of nice new plants. And I think they are all listed on the website and on Get Gills. I had some people order them last week, and I sent them a shipment and didn't have them. Sent them some substitutes, but I'm going to send them these. They wanted four-leaf clover and nana petite, and they wanted the cardinal plants. So I'm going to get those out. Isabella says my creek is frozen. My dad's a junior. His family called him Junebug. Let's see. Elaine Lucart is saying, I plan to get some plants from you, but have to learn not to kill them. Well, do the deep substrate. And when you put plants in, you must put fish in with them. Had somebody say to me recently, well, why do I need fish in there? The 2 or 3 fish are not going to poo enough to be able to provide nutrition. I could just use fish food for that. And my response was, fish food doesn't breathe. The plants need CO2. And they're going to get that initially from particularly plants that are not rooted like anubias. They're going to get that nutrition from get that CO2 from the fish. So you have to have fish in there. It balanced the system right away. Let's see. Michael Pfeiffer says collecting all the bags of stuff was the second hardest part of the whole process for me so far. The hardest part was convincing myself to go ahead and put it in a fish tank. God bless you, Michael. Ain't that the truth? Right. Here's what you have to do. If you want to have the best aquarium you have ever had, you have to be willing to do everything you have been told to absolutely never do. Because only by doing what you were told not to do will you achieve the kind of perfection you can only dream of. Nano Aquarium Guy, Kelly Reddy. My bunny lies over the ocean here, fishing. Buddy, not Bunny. Bunny was last Sunday. We did Bunny with Mary Payne's last Sunday. Elaine Lucart, talking about getting plants. Oh, Lumpy Dog says, but Father Fish, freshwater lakes are all bare bottom lakes without vegetation. How do you explain this? Not in the shallow parts, they're not. When you get up to 10 feet of water, 8 feet of water, 6 feet of water, there are plants. And generally beds of plants. And of course, around the shoreline, plants are growing right up to and out of the water. There are lots of plants. Plants cannot grow deep. They can't grow 20 feet down. But they can grow 10 feet down if it's clear water. And you will find them 3 feet, 2 feet, 1 foot, 5 foot, 10 foot. You'll find them in shallow water. Aqua Garden Zen. A blessed day to you. Kevin says I need creek sand. Yes, you do. We all need creek sand. Creek sand is really the best sand you can use because it's not only thoroughly washed, it contains bacteria. It has bacteria living on those little grains of sand. I wanted to mention something else that we haven't talked about before. There is a kingdom of animals that we have in our fish tanks that no one has talked about. It used to be referred to and described as bacteria, but it's not. It's something entirely different. It is called archaea. 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 It's like a bacteria, but it is not a bacteria. And it may be it certainly is one of the most plentiful organisms on the earth. It is found primarily in extreme environments. It is found deep in the earth. It is found in hot, bubbling springs. It is found in saltwater and freshwater. And guess where else it's found? It is anaerobic, and it is found in the bottom of your father fish aquarium. How do you know it's there? From the odor. From the odor. If you get a swampy, gassy odor, archaea. Archaea. Now, why is this important? Because it is 1,000 times more effective at generating nitrogen. Nitrogen. It's a gas. It blows off into the air. Now you get a little of that fragrance when it does, but that's nitrogen blowing off. So it's performing a very basic function of nitrifying nitrates and ammonia. Archaea. Archaea. It's not a bacteria. It is a unique organism, a separate kingdom of organisms that is living in your tank and is maybe the hardest working organism in your system. So now you know something nobody else knows. Easy Aquatics, hello, ABC. Have I got any native plants? Gee whiz. Not a lot. I've got a little bit. I've got frog spawn, which is really nice. Look at the root on that. Really nice plant. I've got some guppy grass. I probably have Ledwigia. We're going to be getting out. Frank finally is able to get out and about, so he's out collecting now. I think it's what he's been doing for the last 2 days, been getting out collecting. So pretty soon we're going to have lots of stuff coming in. So that'll be real exciting. Michael Brennan, yesterday I found a nice Amazon puffer. Always wanted a puffer. Any tips? I really like puffers. I've had a lot of them. They tend to be nippers, and you've got to be pretty careful not to let your water go foul, because they're uniquely susceptible to bacterial infection. So you want to make sure you don't have anything fouling your water. Don't overfeed. Make sure you've got that deep substrate. If you have a deep substrate, with a decent sand cap, it's pretty unlikely you're going to be able to foul your water. Um, what do they like? They love to eat worms, shrimp, any kind of fish. I mean, they're just gluttons for it. Everybody thinks you need to feed them snails. I never have. I mean, I've had them for years. Never fed them snails. Uh, there are those who believe they cannot survive without eating snails because it grinds their teeth down. Well, I've never had a bucktooth puffer. Actually, they're all bucktooth. I've never had one that had its teeth grow out to the point where it needed to be filed down. Kevin Rosenberg, listen to Father Fish and you'll have the perfect aquarium. Asaya Llewellyn, happy Friday, Asaya. Bill Peterson. Let's see, we got a couple of people here who are not wrenched. Bill Peterson, you now have a wrench. Father Fisher, President 2024. President. President of my local fish club, which I am. So I appreciate that. Beyond that, I don't think so, but thank you. Michael Pfeiffer, President. What did he do to deserve such punishment? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Isabella, have an Gallen that has a large plant, don't remember what kind, large leaves, sends trails, maybe a crep, so put it in, no floating plant survives. I don't understand. It's very unlikely that the one thing has to do with the other. Allelopathy is allelopathy is real. Allelopathy is the study of plants that are toxic to each other, plants that drive others away. It is possible that that's what's happening. It's more likely that there's something else causing that problem. Don't know. There was, let's see, maybe a crit, she says. Large leaves sends trails. Could be a crit. Could be a sword. No floating plants arise. I doubt seriously that the one thing has to do with the other. It is what it is. You know, there are plenty of people who would say count your blessings because they're cursed with duckweed, which never goes away. Christina, I have a question. I have two bristle noses. Excuse me. Same clit, 6 months old. One is 4 inches long. The other is stuck at about an inch and a half. Has anyone seen that before? Really interesting, Christina. Two things. Number one, it's possible that there's a sexual dimorphism, that one is male and one is female. That's possible as an explanation. More likely is the genetic code in schools of fish, hatches, spawns of fish, particularly when they're in relatively large numbers, hundreds even, thousands maybe. There will be a group that grow faster than all the others. It'll be maybe 10%. There'll be another group, the majority, say 50%, that grow at a relatively stable rate, somewhat below the 10%. There will be an undergroup of 10 to 15% that seem not to grow at all. They grow very, very slowly. Now, if you keep them for a year, they will pretty well catch up to each other. So what's going on here? Well, this has been researched. And what they've discovered is that fish spawn when there is food available. If there's a huge infusoria bloom, fish will spawn so that their babies will be able to take advantage of that food supply. However, it often happens that that food supply disappears. And by that time, maybe these guys are an inch long and they're starving. They can't find enough food. And they may even die off. But those little tiny ones don't need nearly as much, and they'll pick around and they'll keep finding food. They'll stay alive. They'll hang in there until the food bloom comes back. And then they are able to feed and grow rapidly. So that's what happens. And that's why we have these tremendous differences of size in large spawns of fish. It's nature's way of protecting itself, protecting the species from a kind of extinction that's caused by dramatic changes in the environment. Just got 2 giant island roaches as pets, says Vicey. Oh, I love it. I don't know what that is. Giant island roaches. Let's see. Let's see what these are. This looks way cool. On the Bearded Dragon forum, let's see. You know what? I don't want to do this. Let's just do images. Giant roach. Blabberus giganteus. Oh, look at this. That's pretty big. That's probably 5 to 6 inches. That is a beast. I gotta admit. Pretty cool. Mercy. Let's see. Michael is saying, like a dead fish, Roger not overfeeding and keeping a nice deep sand substrate. You go, Michael. Paul McCarthy doesn't have a wrench. Oh, well, he does. It just hasn't popped up yet. Kevin, what's Kevin saying? Somebody said amen, Kevin. I can't find Kevin back here. There he is. Had him and lost him that quick. Oh, all right. We did Kevin's very kind comment. Thank you, Kevin. Patty Childs. What kind of plant should I get for angelfish and guppies? This is what I want in my tank. What do I feed angels? I know they like guppy babies. I'll try and get the babies out. You can feed anything. Angels will feed on anything. I mean, literally anything. Any kind of processed food, it doesn't matter. What kind of plant should you put with angels and guppies? Well, the best thing to start with is stem plants, bunch plants, if you will. Anacris, hygrophila, penny, no, not penny, what am I thinking? Guppy grass, hornwort, any of the fast growing plants. That's basically what you want in a new tank is fast-growing plants. Don't spend a lot of money on fancy plants because there's a good chance they're not going to make it. Your tank has to settle in, and it has to develop before a more exotic plant is going to be comfortable in it. You want to get fast-growing plants like anacris, kabamba, hornwort, guppy grass, stuff that's going to just flourish. You can do Vallisneria, any of the vals. They all tend to do very well in a brand new tank, and they're pretty. Swords too. Swords generally will do pretty well in a new tank. Your fishy is having technical issues. Still coming. We're waiting. Shall we? I'll tell you, let's all hold our breath. Let's hold our breath until here fishy gets here. Shelby. I give up. It's who says Roman Chirac? Says Patty, get some of those nice, pretty big plastic plants. Yeah, right. You go, Roman. Roman is a past master at growing plants. He's one of the first who took up the Resurrection Challenge and still has it going. It's moved from a jar. No, I guess he started in a tray, refrigerator tray. Moved from that to a tank, but I think it's moved to other tanks by now and still going strong. So he's dazing. Can floating plants thrive with lids on the tank? Absolutely can. Just got rid of duckweed again in my 75, says Kevin. I found a way to get rid of it. A non-chemical way to get rid of it. Goldfish work. Goldfish will eat it up. But you can't always put goldfish in a tank. But they're pretty good. A wet vac. A little wet vac. Not a great big one. A little one. And you turn it on and you hold that pipe just about a half an inch above the water. And it'll suck out every single one of those little suckers. Every one of them. If you're careful, you can get every one of them. And you have to get every one of them. Because if you don't, they come back. Isabella, thank you, dear, so much for the $10 super sticker. I do appreciate it. I need to say something about this. I have reached the point with my YouTube channel and my lifestyle, such as it is, where I depend on the YouTube channel to produce a certain amount of income. Now, I am earning income based on views. I'm also earning some income based on membership, as well as your gifts. I also am selling items. I've got a few things in my store, some t-shirts, mugs. I have plants. I have the supplement, the deep substrate supplement. Just a number of things to generate income. So this has taken on the aspect of a business. And it's a business that I have chosen to pursue and am therefore dependent upon. So whatever you can do to be helpful, not asking for donations particularly. If I can sell you something that you need. If you want to become a member, one of the things I'm going to be doing with membership will be particularly significant. I now have more than 1,000 videos there are probably 100 that I would like to make available easily and directly to new folks coming in. The rest of them I'm going to list as members only videos. So the great library of fatherfish videos is, once I get this done, it's going to take a while, will only be available to members. So there will be a genuine benefit to that. And I may do that on Patreon because Patreon doesn't take nearly as much as YouTube. YouTube takes 30%. Patreon takes 10%. So I may do this on Patreon. We'll see. In any case, I wanted to let that out and talk to you a little bit about it. I have not done so up to this point. But I've reached the point where I need to, because I really do need your support for this channel and for what we're trying to do here. I'm also making a very serious effort. Thank you, Michigan Tropicals, very much. Making a very serious effort to grow this channel in a way that will get our story out, in a way that will reach out to people with the story of and the importance of a deep substrate, and in particular a fatherfish deep substrate. The Discord channel is an important part of that. We have a lot of people there, and we're building something very significant. I don't really know what direction that's going in yet, but the people who are there are committed to it and excited about it. So just a kind of an update, housekeeping stuff. I appreciate your attention. Maybe a sword, Isabella said it's large, talking about her plants. Rowan Chirac. Yeah, allelopathy is chemicals excluded by plants to fight off other plants. That's exactly correct. Michael Brannon thinks maybe the fish need braces. He must be talking about puffers. Yeah, Romans mentions allelopathy. Page 50 in Diana Wallstead's book. I got it. It's fallen down behind me. I can't reach it easily. I have to get out of my chair and go over and root around behind the desk. Isabella said, Roman, it's not a dirted tank. Oh, dear, Isabella. Oh, dear. All right. Put 2 inches of sand in that tank, Isabella. Just pour it right down through the water. Just put 2 inches of sand in it. And that will resolve probably a lot of these issues. You've got 100% of your nutrients in the water column. That makes it impossible for the tank to balance. It becomes essentially a sewer, an open sewer. We either have to be constantly changing water, filtering heavily, doing other just extreme things to try to keep it from becoming toxic. 2 inches of water. Michael Brown. Praises. Oh, well. Oh, jumping down here. Let's see. 59. Fanaticals had blue acaras and angels. I don't think I have any blue acaras in here with my angels. Blue acaras are not an aggressive fish. There's one right there. And guess who's here? There she is. You made it. Ta-da.
I need one of those little internet awards that says, "You tried." That's all I want.
You did good.
Acknowledge I
You did.
tried.
Well, you made it. You made it.
Yeah,
You
right?
can see I've got cichlids in here that are not bothering the angels at all. And blue acaras are not aggressive. You're not going to have a problem.
Ooh, I'm
Shelby,
going to write that down.
how's your
Yo.
week been?
All right. Well, honestly, I'm happy. I'm happy to. I mean, I was just happy little snowed-in week, so it was nice. But in a fish room way, I'm happy to be in here because I tried to get one saltwater fish that didn't work out. That was between him and I, and I've just been so deflated because I was on cloud nine. I know I talked to you privately, and then he jumped out of a little 1 by 1 square foot hole, and I just haven't even wanted to come in here.
That's
like I've really been avoiding this room. You know, you just have to lick your wounds and come back, get back on the horse.
That's right. That's right. Get back up on that horse.
That's
Get
where I'm at.
one.
You know, like it really, I was so deflated. Yeah.
Right.
I'm just,
Listen,
I'm gonna like tighten the top of this tank. Air's not gonna be able to get out of it.
Right, exactly.
After
Listen,
that,
Kevin, I finally found chocolate gouramis tonight to finish off my 33 long dirt in. Without expecting it, there they were. They are amazing. I know I just think they're incredible. I've got some here. Now these are, I don't know if we're going to see them. Take what? Let me put the light back on. It's so bright, I turn it on. But I've got some. It's a subspecies of the chocolate gourami, and I'm not seeing them. They're a little shy.
I'm coming to you guys in chat.
Right there. Right there. Can you see them?
Oh yeah, hiding up in the top there.
Yep. I've got 6 of them. Here's another one in the back of the tank.
That's a very interesting shape.
Yeah, it's a fascinating tank.
Nice shape, nice markings.
It is a 29-gallon narrow. It's 2 foot, 24 inches. Most 29s are 30 inches, so it's taller. I got them for the shop, and I kept all of them because I really like them. They're just better. They just want to show off. Look at them.
Isn't that what they do?
That's what they do. But there's the chocolate.
Still pulling up chat here. Getting to y'all. Yin's guys, I should say, since I'm from Pittsburgh. Not
Yin's
y'all.
guys.
Yin's guys.
Yin's guys.
Yin's guys.
Yeah. Yin's guys. Huh? Let's see. Where's the sandbell? Do you know what?
Whoa.
I do have the sandbell. I got another one here somewhere. There's that one. We haven't used the sandbell in a
I have
long,
mine
long
upstairs.
time.
Yeah, sometimes when I was listening through my ear pods to your live stream, I would just be like moseying along when you were on every morning at 8, and then like the bell would hit my ears and I would just like fall to the ground. So like some people's, you know, like if you're watching on TV or something else, like it's like, oh cool, the bell. If you're walking around with earbuds, you know, it just stops you in your track, takes your breath away. So
yeah.
I don't recommend the bell as far as a live stream thing.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Patty is saying, write a book, sell videos. I know. That's the hard way, right?
Write a book? This man is 81 years old. I'm not saying you can't do it, but
I've got 1,000 videos. There's my book.
Right. Oh my goodness, right. That I agree with taking all those past videos private and then just mining them, because all those live streams, how many people are actually going to power through from the beginning through and think of
nobody.
all the stuff
Right.
right. And sometimes just some of the knowledge you have has to be triggered by a question.
Right.
So
and I try to make little
magnificent
make
IT
shorts.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even
But I think I'm going to do that.
Longs,
I want to be able.
Yeah.
And by doing it that way, I'll be able to pull out a group of videos that every new person should view. So it'll make it workable.
Yeah.
They're not going to have to plow through the New York Library in order to try to find
because
something.
you know how many people aren't going to do that nowadays, the attention span and all that.
Let's see, Christina Whitaker.
Well, listen, let me see, Data Tech Man. I got it. I totally recommend powering through them all. Like, there's so much, you get to know the fish fam, the history of that. That's just a side thing besides so much knowledge, and just, it's nice to have on in the background if you're driving or if you're in the fish room or whatever. All of your past live streams. As far as the channel goes, I do agree with mining that and knowing like how many people aren't going to come back and do that.
Yeah, and I think if I make the bulk of it available for members, I'll get more members. Isabella
and
is
it'll
now
be all
a new member. Look at this. Look at this, Isabella.
Oh, welcome on in.
Look at that, and look at this. Look at this, fanatical. All right. Thank you, guys.
Right. I mean, think really the amount of knowledge and the fact that if you have a specific question, you can come right in and have it addressed, not in a way that's telling you to buy a bunch of stuff.
Right. True enough. I need to find a way to sell them.
Right. I mean, just instead of going to the store or person that would sell you something, you support Father Fish for what, $4.99 a month, and if you can't, that's fine. Do stay, of course. We love you, but we understand. But if you could kick that $5 in and not be sold a bunch of gadgets that also are going to draw power and keep chipping at you over time, I think this is where investment well worth it here with Father Fish.
Okay, Isabella, I'm confused. You said, talking to Roman, that you did not have substrate. So I made a comment to put 2 inches of sand in. And then you said, do you mean my substrate isn't deep enough? And then you cried. So I don't know what's going on. Tell me what you have in your tank, Isabella. Tell me what your substrate is right now. Joe Braddock, thank you. Farther fish. Benson Hill. Learning so much from you. God bless you, Joe. Thank you.
That makes me think of that time not so long ago, but I don't think a lot of people know about this, because another thing was buried in a live stream is how you were out there collecting and were caught out. And only because you're in cardiac rehab, you were able to swim against the current because you didn't want to drop your expensive net.
Oh, that was amazing.
That's a great story.
I don't know. I'm going to go back and try to find that. I'm not sure.
I think I want to say it was like 3 to 6 weeks ago. Just because of the weirdness that you lose track.
A little longer, maybe. A couple of months, probably. I think I can find it.
Just after you started with the ocean in the bag thing. You're right. I think that was back maybe early October. It was right after the ocean in the bag.
That's about right.
And then I think it was a morning live stream, because it was odd that I even caught it. I just couldn't sleep that day or whatever.
I need to try to find that. You're right. That's a
good story.
Incredible. It really is.
Yeah.
How do you get rid of Blackbeard algae? Fire Kicks reviews. Well, there's one guaranteed way to get rid of it. It works 100% of the time. Fall in love with it. Decide it's the best thing in your tank. It'll shrivel up and die. Blackbeard algae cannot tolerate good vibes. Blackbeard algae occurs when nitrates are very high in the water column, and it feeds on the nitrates. When there are inadequate other plants in the tank to be able to take up those nitrates. So it's a form of algae, and all algae are last in line to the banquet table. So if you've got algae, then it'll have many plants in line in front of it. So you need more plants to control algae. Blackbeard is unique in that it will grow and actually absorb all of the available nitrate and then die off. It's remarkable that way. Nobody has Blackbeard algae for an extended period of time. It's an interim plant. There are a lot of interim things that happen in fish tanks as they develop and as they become more mature. Blackbeard algae is one of them. It doesn't always happen, but when it does, it's because there's an imbalance. And the imbalance is too much nitrate, not enough non-rooted. Too much nitrate in the water column, not enough non-rooted plants in the tank. So that's the story, and that's how you get rid of it. But if you will do what I suggested, fall in love with it, it will shrivel up and die.
Oh, I'm in top chat.
Yeah, I do
You
that
have a
all
few
the
more
time.
things to address as well. I already switched it once. This is just, it's not my night, but I'm here. So,
Yes, you're
cheers to
here.
that.
Garcia Aquatics, hello, hello. The Kevin Rosenberg, best desk on earth. What is he talking about? Oh, yours, I guess. It really is. That's a super.
Yeah, and
it's a fish tank.
what I like, it's just a 40 breeder, and my dad got this glass desk from Goodwill. So it's tempered glass. When we moved, it got taken apart, and there was no putting it back together with it being a stable thing. So everybody said, let's throw it away, and I said, no. So I harvested all the glass. So it's just like the remnants of a glass computer desk on top of a 40 breeder, on top of some particle board, on top of some cinder blocks.
I love it.
It was free. Except, I'm sorry.
I love it.
The aquarium was from Petco during the $1 per gallon sale, so it was $40.
All right. Catfish
but
Terry
I do have
is
my
here.
giant birthday rock. Yeah. Hey, Catfish Terry.
Hey, Catfish. Nice to see you, Catfish. Happy to have you with us. James Green. Garcia. Joe Broderick. Broderick. Let's see. He says, I tried to show you my fish tank on my phone the other day. Is there a way I can send you a pic from it instead? Yeah, do it on Discord.
I'll drop the link.
It's very easy to post pictures on Discord. And you can also chat about them and, kind of have a good old time. And I can even pick it up. Let's see, let me show you.
That being said, if you are not on Discord already, it's kind of, I'll say it's confusing and confusing to new people. I'm 41 and above, I assume. Just get in there. We don't know, like a lot of us are new and it's easy to figure out. And if you say, hey, I don't know where to post this or ask this, no big deal. You'll learn as you go.
Yeah,
So
it's not
don't
hard.
hesitate to join. Right. Well, I mean, it can be a little intimidating because you have no idea what you're doing because it's different. So just come on over and we'll guide you in. I just learned myself.
Let's see,
I like
Jeff
the
Kane.
online chat there.
Jeff Kane, how interim is Staghorn Algae? Well, it's kind of the same story. All of the algae exist as a means of the tank balancing itself and using up available nitrates, phosphates, magnesium, all of the stuff involved in feeding plants. If you have excess nutrition in the water column, this is one of the reasons we do the sand bed, we do the sand cap, because the sand cap prevents a lot of that. The sand cap holds the nitrates down in the substrate. It even allows them, as they're being created, to sift down into the substrate. So the sand goes a long way toward controlling algae growth simply by virtue of its function. Roman says, gotta keep healthy so I can look after my 92-year-old mother. God bless you.
Who said that?
Oh, well. Roman Schrock.
92. That's beautiful.
Mother's 92, yep.
That's the way you see
Fanaticals.
it, through.
Yeah, amen. I know it sucks. Used to be full of energy. Now can't even get to the local without feeling like, yeah, I know. You become more lethargic and more sedentary. It's not good. Fanaticals, oh, he's got the long COVID. Oh, boy. Well, keep fighting it. Keep fighting it.
Stretch.
Don't give up.
Do some breathing exercises and stretch.
Yeah, just do what you
can.
can.
Just sit there for 5 minutes twice a week.
Hippie John the Fisherman.
I promise.
Right.
Just sit down. I mean, and when I say stretch, just sit on the floor, sit on the carpet. You don't need anything. Just move into a place where you feel a little tight and just breathe there for 5 minutes twice a week. Really.
Fire kit reviews. What kind of dirt?
That.
What kind of dirt do you use in the planted tank? I've got probably 100 videos describing precisely that. Again, if you get in Discord, we have the formula listed there and lots of help with it. There are lots of videos explaining exactly how to do the dirted substrate.
Father Fish, where are you at time-wise in the chat?
I'm at 926. So I'm pretty close.
I was looking at back at 918. Isabella said, I have a substrate. It's not too deep. Don't yell at me. And it's only an 8 gallon, so I didn't want to fill up a small tank and have no room left for fishes.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, for small tanks, you can't do 3 inches. Now, having said that, in my shop, I had 20-gallon longs, which are 12 inches tall. And a number of them had 6 inches of substrate. 6 inches of substrate in a 12-inch tall tank. They were some of the best tanks I had in terms of being able to grow plants. You have a sick fish,
that's where you put it, I bet.
Yeah. Well, it did the best job with fish and plants. So I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
T-Bone.
Maybe towards the end I'll show this little natural saltwater thing I have going because it's so little and the substrate so deep it looks ridiculous.
Right, right.
So after that, Michael Brandon said, Father Fish, do you always leave your air stones running or do you turn them off or circulate them?
I don't use air stones, Michael. And the main reason I don't is because a sponge filter gives you a double hit. You get not only the circulation, you also get some filtration. So you accomplish the same thing.
Area.
Yeah, the other issue with the air stones is unless you've got one of these guys, they clog up. These don't clog up because
are those little backflow things, or is that a special air stone?
It's an air stone. I just dropped. I unscrewed half of it and dropped
I heard it hit the ground.
Yeah,
Way to
go. Out somewhere. It'll turn up someday. I don't know where the milk comes in.
And you'll be like, "Oh, cool, an air stone."
Right, there it is. There it was. Now it's gone. Anyway, they clog up.
Well, you Floridians won't know this, but you might remember that's what happens when you leave like a 5 or 10 spot in your winter coat. You find it next year, and you're like, "Oh, yay!"
Right.
I'll take it back. Well, that's the best. That's the ultimate.
Really?
I was trying to be more approachable because 5 and 10's cool too. But 20 spot in your winter coat, you're like, yes.
All right. Scott Stankovich, give me the VVA. It's beautiful. It is. It's a really pretty plant. Let me get down. Sponges are enough. I like sponges. I use them, and I've been using them 25 years. Pretty much exclusively for 25 years.
My local fish store does like the sidewall sponge. I can't think of the correct name for that. Like the whole one side. What is that called? Just a matten sponge or matten filter?
Yeah, matten. Yeah, I think that's right. Scott is here, so we talk to Scott. Hey, Scott.
Absolutely.
Good
Scott
evening.
Wing in the background. Happy weekend.
So far, so good. We had a snowstorm coming in Oklahoma, so
we're up here in
Pittsburgh,
and I hear you, man.
so these, I just want to show. We started with like 4 guppies, and this is where we are now.
The plants. What's that plant that looks like ribbony right there?
Right here. That right there.
Right in the middle. That bit.
This one right here.
On the bottom, that big one.
Potageton, and it is a.
Yeah, that's a bulb. That's a bulb.
Yeah, it's a. That one spins.
I've heard it, and I always thought it was. I've heard the name, and now that I see it, I want it.
Oh, they're beautiful.
I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down, and I'm circling it.
I'll hang it here for a few more minutes. Father Fish has got a couple of them too, I think.
Oh yeah, I think he has a really big one for sale. Yeah. Right?
And then my Madagascar's not doing too great, but oh well. But
I've tried to keep it and failed, but it's so pretty. It's always worth another try.
Again, this is a substrate, deep substrate, about 4 months old.
We have like
the Madagascar dies back, but you leave it in there, it'll come back.
Okay.
All right.
Does it like light? Well, obviously,
all plants have to have light, and you really cannot have too much.
So I'm gonna swing out over to my other tank real quick.
Highlight, or can it be in a normal light?
Yeah, light's rarely the issue.
Yep. Is it too much or too little? All right.
It's rarely the issue.
The tannin is
guppies, though. Before we move on, I want to. Beautiful.
There's a bare-looking tank, isn't it?
This is the tannin tank, deep substrate, and it's finally starting to pop a little bit. A friend of mine gave me about $100 worth of plants. Unfortunately, he was moving, and a week
That's a
before
good
he
friend.
moved, yeah. My deal is I have to send him guppies when he settles back in. Fair deal.
Fair enough.
And
Still a
so,
good friend.
yep. And so what he did is he pulled his plants out of his tank and put them into a 5-gallon bucket in the dark. And so about half of what he gave me was kind of melted off. But it's finally, I'm gonna see if it turns sideways, see if that works. I don't know. Yeah, it's a little bit better. But that's, for people that haven't seen what a deep substrate can do.
Maybe Scott
That's
could
it.
be full screen, Fatherfish.
Would you
Pardon?
like? Let me see if I can swing it.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, there it is. But
Yeah, it's easier to see that way.
okay.
To see more of his tank.
Yeah, it's
The
getting
angels
there.
are beautiful.
Oh, yep, there.
That makes me think I need to get some angels again.
This is my baby. Of course, he's gonna look at me and go sideways because they kind of follow you around like puppies.
They're hilarious sideways. It's like nothing to them.
Yeah.
They're like
and
so big and then they go away.
Again, duckweed central. I use that to feed my goldfish or the goldfish. And that's about it. So I'm going to hop off. I hope somebody else shows their tanks and what a real deep substrate tank can look like after 3 or 4 months.
Too. Yeah.
And because
Good
it's
job. Thanks, Scott.
a lot of training, from somebody that knows some stuff. Bye.
Bye-bye. James
It's important
Green.
you passing all your knowledge on to us to carry through, and learn, and build from. It is.
I was watching a video today on how to build a YouTube channel, and it was really interesting because he went through all of the stages that you go through, and I've been through all the stages, and I'm on the last one. So as he did this, I said, "Yeah, that's right. And the last one is once you've got this whole thing put together, you know who you are, you know what you're doing, you've got a system for doing it, then you need to popularize yourself. You need to become the focal point for whatever it is your message is. And that's where we're at right now. That's where the Fatherfish channel is at. We're at a point where we know what we're doing, we know how to do it, we know how to explain it and teach it. We know how to make it interesting and engaging. We just we need to get it out there. Skitty Fish is here. Skitty Fish has been with us over on Discord, and she's been talking about these tubs.
Hi there.
Hi there. How are you?
Oh, you can have so
Pretty
much
good.
going on and you just let the tubs go. Let's see it. I like it. Oh, beautiful.
Oh, yeah. So far, so good. I just added some fish to a 27-gallon tough tote tub. And
Did you just get those plants? Did you just get those plants?
I've had these plants for about a couple weeks. Someone gave me some cuttings, and I rooted them in just rock wool and fish water.
Then I would say so far, so great.
They're doing wonderfully.
Yeah.
They just absolutely love this water. I've got it chock full of plants in here too. I've got Java moss, Vallisneria, a bunch of floaters, a bunch of guppies, a bunch of sweet potatoes.
Nice.
Pocos,
Okay, this is a huge learning experience.
I found out anything that vines will pretty much grow in this water.
How did you put the sweet potatoes in there? Did you just throw a potato in, or did you cut something up, or did you already have like something greening?
I wish I had some better light here. I took a sweet potato, and you stick
It looks
in
fine.
water.
It looks fine. Well, because I'm saying this because I noticed some from Thanksgiving. It just had like a little purple thing, so I went and put it in one of my plants. But if I could do more with, oh wow, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Here's what you do. You just sit there and you cut it off. Oop, no, that one's not ready yet. Let's see if I don't cut my thumb off.
Something with roots.
They look amazing. Wow.
And you just they're gonna root wherever they got nodes, and you just pull off a couple leaves on the bottom, and
How about that?
This is important information. You can live off of sweet potatoes.
they're
Right.
delicious. And you just
I mean, if you guys fish keeping,
Bring
ladies
over
and gentlemen, like this woman is really giving you some tools for life. I love it.
Yeah.
More, please.
don't
And
throw
do-
these away.
Tell
Eat
us
'em.
everything. I'm sorry
Eat
to
'em.
interrupt. Go ahead. What else do you want to show us?
Oh, I am sorry. You're okay. I was just gonna say the sweet potatoes. Don't eat don't throw them away. Eat them. They're good. Throw them in a salad.
These tubs are wonderful. I had 40 of them at the shop. They sell for about $10 a piece. They've probably gone up a little bit. They're 40 gallons, very solid. You fill them up and they don't bend. They don't belly out.
Mine only do just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Lowe's carries them.
Mhm.
And they have a lid that you can set them on, use it as a base to be able to level them out. They're wonderful, inexpensive, cheapest tank you'll ever buy.
They're great. I've had mine for about two, almost 3 years, indoors and outdoors.
Yeah,
Mhm.
wonderful.
They don't do so good.
I love
They
it.
don't do so good. Oh, thank you.
I'm happy to meet you. We've been
Yeah,
I'm happy to-
seriously.
I'm
Come,
happy to have
come
found
back more.
you. Okay. I didn't know if I could, get on here, but I just gave it a shot.
And
Here I
we're-
am.
well. That's
And we're
great.
not brushing you off. Do you have anything else to show us? No pressure.
Oh, that's fine. Let's see.
If you want to slide
I've
back in the
got-
chat, that's cool too.
But that insanity going on. Way more sweet potatoes. They go crazy, 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 crazy.
She got a real fish
Wow.
room. Look at this.
Oh, what is that light above
right.
those?
That's
First of
just
all,
an
what's
ordinary
the light?
shop light. Just a shop light.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
That one's a Mars Hydro T1000, I think. That thing is bright.
Nice. There's the lid.
Yeah, really.
You're doing everything right that I see. Wow.
So far, so good. Father Fish has had to yell
Yeah.
at me a couple of times just to grow a pair and do stuff. But,
Right. Oh, I hear it all the time. I call him with these little, I'm so scared. He's like, just put your hand in,
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Right. Ah. Wonderful.
Creek water, or creek mud, sorry. Creek
Good
mud.
for you. Oh, that's
There's
great.
sand. There's sand on there.
What state are you in? Because right now, like,
Missouri.
our creeks are frozen. Missouri.
Missouri.
okay.
I have if it gets up to about 55 degrees, I can go get mud.
Yeah.
Frozen.
What's the coldest it gets there?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What was that?
What's the coldest it gets there in Missouri?
Oh, I'm having some issues here.
No, it happens, believe me.
Somebody's trying to call me.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. If it's important, go ahead, jump off, and we'll check you later.
I'd better go ahead and take this. I apologize.
Okay, go ahead, sweetheart.
All right.
We'll see you later. Love to
Yeah,
have you.
thanks for having me.
You bet. All right.
Well, I'm sorry to steal your vernacular, but what a delight she was.
Yes, she is, isn't she? Yeah, she's been on Discord for a couple of weeks now, and just
What's her
really
name
enjoying
again?
it. What's it here? Skinny something.
Skinny fish, was that it?
Skinny fish, yeah. Skinny fish, yes.
At 9:40, Ram Kumar said, "Fatherfish, how will we enhance the colors of guppies naturally?" And now my chat's moving away. Wow. Hold on. I'll try to get back there.
Sunlight. if
Okay,
you
that's
can
all
do
that
it.
it'll let me read. Yeah, sunlight.
sunlight if you can do it, and carotene or vegetables, any kind of vegetables, and you can blend them, put them in a blender, and feed it as a paste. Carrots are good. Carotene is a color enhancer. Patty Childs, what you want to do, Patty, is just order one package of the supplement. It'll have instructions as to exactly how to use it. Where else? What else? Isabella. Green collar. We got a bunch of new people. Green collar. Legitiplier. I go to Playa and Santosh. Can we breed gouramis now?
Welcome to
they're
everyone.
breedable. Yeah, they're eminently breedable. A lot of gouramis are very aggressive fish.
I had such a hard time with them a few years ago that I'll probably need at least 20 years before I will ever allow another gourami in my house.
Well, yeah, the big ones, the blue gouramis. The
I had
snakeskin
powder
gourami.
blue and
All of
orange
them,
ones, and I didn't know, and I put them all in a tank, and it was a bad scene.
I know. Christina Whitaker. Moon Boots is there. Hey, Moon Boots.
Hey, Moon Boots. What do you have to say to stir up the chat tonight? Right?
Yeah, we'll be over there. We'll be on live video chat tonight. On anybody who wants to join us is more than
And
welcome.
you don't have to be on. You don't have to be on video, and you don't have to be, have your voice on. You could pop on and off, or just hang out. Because I know people. Discord, you can kind of dip your toe in the pool, and then decide what you want to do from there.
Ram Kumar. Hello, Ram. Talking about enhancing guppy color. I've got some somewhere. There's a color enhancer. If you want, I can.
He said natural. He said natural. Because I know, LRB is all about those tetracolor granules.
I know, yeah. Moon Boots. Well, let's see. Trying to get down to the bottom here. How often do I recommend you clean sponge filters? Depends on how, when they get so gunky and heavy that touching them creates a swirl of dirt. In other words, when they get totally plugged up, then carefully take them out.
So the same as children.
Right.
That was a
when
joke.
they get to the point
That was a joke.
where you can't tolerate it, when you cannot tolerate it anymore, throw them in a bucket. I used to have a dedicated washing
Just like
machine.
children. It was a
Right.
joke.
Dedicated washing machine. I throw all my sponges in the washing machine. But you can wring them out.
Store?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was a machine that never had soap in it. Creek mud. You want to mix that creek mud with sphagnum moss or potting soil. You want to aerate it. It tends to be thick and dense. So you want to put something lighter in it, like peat moss, to get it lightened up, or sphagnum moss, so that the roots can get down in it, and so that detritus can filter into it as well. So it's wonderful, but mix it in with something else. You can do that. It's you're going to be putting sand in anyway on the top.
Obviously.
Obviously, right. The sand is not humic, and so you're not benefiting the humic factor, which is really what the deep substrate is all about.
Yeah.
The dirt part of it is humic substance. So by putting sand in there, you're displacing humic substance. You certainly can do it.
I feel like that's an area I've been neglecting because I've been listening to when you've been talking about adding irons, to the substrate before, and that's something I haven't done. I've just been using, like organic potting soil, and then I always put crushed coral in, and I have some iron tone outside that I always beat myself up because every year I forget to put it around my bushes. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should bring it inside. But that's something that I've literally been neglecting in all my tanks. But when you say add it in, say you haven't been putting iron in, and you have deep substrate fish room, as I do. How would you go about adding that in what increments?
Well, it's kind of a problem.
Or 10 gallons. Just to try to narrow it down.
You can do it with a baster. Just get the baster down in there and squirt it.
But this is a powder. Like a little baster.
Yeah, you would have to dissolve it. You'd have to mix it in water first and then try to pump it in with a baster. It's not 100%. It's not a great way to do it because it tends to fluff up up through the sand. It's kind of tough.
Okay.
You can freeze it.
Rusty nail it is.
Yeah, you can freeze it. You can put it in like a little nylon bag, like a pantyhose, little tiny bag, and stick that down in there. That works. It'll eventually deteriorate. Somebody was asking me today.
Like, should it be like the size of a marble, the size of a pea, a decent bouncy ball?
I had a formula for that I came up with. 1 ounce per 5 gallons.
Okay.
Depending on the substance.
So an ounce can be weight-wise or liquid-wise. I think there's two measurements in an ounce. Okay.
Right.
Which one?
Exactly. Whichever.
Because that's where you because fatherfish is sleeping and you're like, if you're a night owl like me, you're like, I'm going to do this now. And you're like, oh my God, which one is it?
Whichever makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, if it's a liquid, you don't want to do it by weight.
Right.
And you may need to make it liquid to get it down in there and then freeze it. Somebody was asking me today about iron, how you can get iron in your tank naturally. Good question. Very, very simple to do.
So the rusty nail, right?
That's not natural. They were saying natural.
Okay. You're right. Understood.
So naturally
just scrape the underside of your muffler system.
Clay.
Oh, yeah.
Red clay is full of iron, loaded with iron. But you can't put clay. You have to treat clay first before you can use it. You can't put a clump of clay in your tank because it'll just remain. It'll remain a clump of clay. It's too dense.
And it won't dissolve into the system, even if there's like tannins or what have you.
Not if you've got it. Not if you've got it under the sand and in the soil. I mean, eventually it might, but there's an easy way to do that.
So if you have a clump of clay and it's a new tank, and you shove it down on the bottom, put some soil in it, and then sink it down with the sand.
I'm going to explain it to you as soon as you're finished asking me silly questions.
I have one more silly question. So here, where I live in west of Pittsburgh, very quickly you can dig into my yard and you get to clay where you're bringing like orange streaks through brown dirt. Was orange streak clay red clay?
Yeah, it has that orange streak is iron.
Okay. That
That's
last
perfect.
silly question. I'm ready for story time. This man's knowledge is infinite, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so it's very
Hark.
simple.
Hark. Yes.
You ever done potting, or do you know what slip is?
I've seen the movie Ghost. If that's where we're
I don't
going.
know about that. No.
Okay, well, good.
It's-
We'll keep it family friendly then.
Put the clay. You want to put the clay in water. You want to make it a liquid substance. Put it in water and just keep mixing it until it doesn't dissolve. It just thins out
Mm-hmm.
until the clay is a thin mud. And then mix humic substances in with it. The clay is minerals. There's very little humus, none to speak of in clay. It's minerals. So by
with
mixing
that, would you
humic,
start with like some type of mulch or leaves or topsoil? What would your humic substance of choice be? In that like,
peat
time
moss,
slot. Okay.
uh, potting soil, and some kind of organic mulch.
Okay.
Could be leaves, or it could be like black cow. Mix that in with the clay, and that'll get the minerals distributed throughout that subsoil. Then mix in the elements from the supplements that I sell. So there are about 8 or 10 supplements in there that you're not going to get in the clay or in the soil. Mix that in, and you want it the consistency of a mud pie. You don't want it soupy. You want it kind of thick and viscous. Pour that in the tank about an inch deep. If you got 100-gallon or better, you can make it 2 inches deep.
Is this when you're starting a tank or in between?
Brand new, starting a tank, first time out. Nothing else in the tank. Put the mud in, cap it with 2 inches of sand. Put a bowl or a plate or a bag or a towel or something in there so when you put water in, you don't stir up the sand and the dirt. Fill the tank to within 2 inches. Do your hardscape, plant it heavily right then. Hook up the filter, get it going. The next day, put fish in it. Do not test the water. It'll make you crazy. It's
I've learned
irrelevant.
that, yeah. Yes,
It's
I've learned
irrelevant. It really is.
That's so true. It's so true.
Ignore the testing. Don't. You can check the pH. That makes sense. But you're using your water. Whatever your water is, that's your water. And that's what you've got. And that's what your fish are going to live in. And they will be fine. They will be just fine. Scoutscaper went to meet George Farmer today for an aquascaping workshop. How nice.
Name drop. Hello.
Yeah. We need to teach him how to do a nature aquarium. He does natural looking aquariums, but they are not nature aquariums.
They're all set up that day and then walked away from.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't know how to do what we're doing. He doesn't know how to do a nature aquarium.
In his defense, I think that he's more of a creative and an artist. So he just, you know what I mean? He's looking for that fresh cream palette to paint on every time.
That's fine.
piece
He
of art
needs to-
and move on.
needs
I
to
don't know
learn
that
how
he's
to-
here for
He
the long
needs
haul.
to learn how to do this so that it will be a permanent structure and not something that gets broken down every 30 days.
It would be beautiful for the fish keeping side because you would learn more because he's a popular person. But on the side, if he wants to use all these fish and plants, you can just send it right to our house and we will happily take it when you're done at your exhibit, sir. He probably has people
Right.
giving him, driftwood for free. Can you imagine?
I know.
What kind of
Where's
life is
Karen
that?
Duff? All right. Where are we? We're at 10
We
o'clock.
have nothing but rusty creeks here outside of Pittsburgh. They run orange because of abandoned coal mines.
Yeah,
I don't
Kevin,
know if
like
that's
a
actually
sludge.
considered rust or is
Yeah,
that
no.
something else.
The
Because
thing
it's like
I keep
if
stressing.
it hasn't rained, it'll turn aqua, if it hasn't rained, it'll be real rusty. But then when it comes through with a big rain, it turns into a very aqua color.
Well, I should just
These
hold it
abandoned
up.
coal mines.
I forgot what I was
Well,
doing.
good.
It's
If you
gone.
wanna, well, we're at 10
Oh,
to 1,
sludge.
or so says my thing. If you wanna see what's going on, I'll drop the Discord link again for anybody that wants to check it out. You don't have to know what you're doing on Discord.
Right.
It's a safe environment for learning, just like Father Fish's channel.
All right, guys. Let me get Nala back up here.
Yes, I love that. I love it.
One more time. All right. Thank you all.
Good night, everybody.
Bless you all. Lord, we must have missed 100 questions.
I know. It was busy, but that's good because Alex wasn't on before we started. There's a huge difference in numbers.
Alex is in the hospital.
Really?
He's having back surgery to repair the damage that was done by lightning years ago. So lots of prayers. Lots of prayers for Alex that this works and it comes out stronger and happier and healthier than ever.
Wow, what a big thing. I mean, I knew he was working with his teeth, but man, God bless him.
Bye-bye. I'll love you all.